For now, you don't need to worry too much about what the reserved words do and why they're reserved. Right now, let's instead just list what the reserved words are. Fortunately, Python gives us a handy way of checking all the reserved keywords that it has. This is the code that does that. Line 1 just tells it to see the module that contains all the keywords, and line 2 tells it to print keywords keyword list. Don't worry too much about how this works. The result of this is this output over here. The brackets we'll talk about more later. They define a list of multiple items. So this is a list of all the keywords that Python has. These serve various different functions. Import and from, for example, are involved in importing from different modules, which you've actually already seen when we've dealt with dates or right now when we're dealing with keyword. And, is, not, and or are different logical operators. And false and true are related to these. And none is as well to a certain extent. As, break, continue, if, elif, else, for, in, while, pass, and with are all related to different control structures, which is basically our topic for all of Unit 3. Def and return are related to functions, which we'll cover at the end of Unit 3. Class is part of object-oriented programming, which we'll talk about in Unit 5. And except, finally, raise, and try are related to exception or error handling, which we'll talk about at the end of Unit 3. The remaining words like assert, del for delete, global, lambda, non-local, and yield are outside of the scope of our course. Note also that if you run this code and see additional words like print or exec, it means that you're working in the wrong version of Python. So you need to switch to Python 3. Based on these words, you can actually get a pretty nice feel for what we'll spend the majority of our time on in this course. The remaining lessons in this unit are about operators. Our next unit is about control structures, functions, and error handling. And Unit 4 is about advanced data structures like lists. This unit, though, is largely about learning to speak the computer's language, which is why most of these keywords are covered in this unit.